Hello. Don't forget to like and subscribe before starting the video. Who is Ulysses S. Grant? Ulysses S. Grant was a complex figure who lived during a pivotal time in American history. He served as the 18th President of the United States and was a Union general during the Civil War, but his legacy goes beyond just those titles. Grant is an important figure to study and discuss because of his pivotal role in the Civil War. He was one of the most successful Union generals, and his victories played a key role in the ultimate outcome of the war. In addition, Grant's presidency was a time of great change and controversy. He worked to protect the rights of African Americans during Reconstruction, but his administration was also marked by scandals such as the Credit Mobilier affair. In this video, we will explore Grant's early life and military career, including his struggles with alcoholism and his experiences in the Mexican-American War. We will also cover his Civil War victories, such as his capture of Forts Henry and Donelson and the Siege of Vicksburg. Finally, we will examine his presidency and legacy, including his efforts to protect the rights of African Americans and his role in the controversies of his time. Ulysses S. Grant was born on April 27, 1822, in Point Pleasant, Ohio. He was the oldest of 6 children and grew up on his family's farm. His father, Jesse Grant, was a tanner and a farmer, and his mother, Hannah Simpson Grant, was a homemaker. Grant had a modest upbringing and attended local schools, where he showed a talent for horsemanship and an interest in military history. In 1839, Grant's father secured an appointment for him to attend the United States Military Academy at West Point. At West Point, Grant's education focused on engineering and military tactics. Despite struggling with the strict disciplinary rules, Grant excelled academically and graduated in 1843, ranking 21st out of a class of 39. After graduating from West Point, Grant was assigned to duty in Missouri, where he served in the Mexican-American War. He demonstrated his bravery and military skills during several battles, including the Battle of Monterrey and the Battle of Chapultepec. However, Grant's experiences in the war were also marked by his struggles with alcoholism, which would haunt him for much of his life. Following the war, Grant was stationed in various locations around the country, including California and New York. However, he struggled to find his place in civilian life and often found himself unemployed or working in low-paying jobs. It wasn't until the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861 that Grant found his calling as a military leader. Ulysses S. Grant's early successes in the Civil War marked him as a skilled and innovative military leader. In February 1862, he captured Forts Henry and Donelson in Tennessee, which opened up the Tennessee River and gave the Union control of a key waterway. His success at Fort Donelson earned him the nickname Unconditional Surrender, Grant, as he demanded that Confederate General Simon B. Buckner surrender unconditionally. A few months later, in April 1862, Grant led Union forces at the Battle of Shiloh in southwestern Tennessee. The battle was a fierce 2-day conflict, and the Union forces were initially caught off guard by a surprise Confederate attack. However, Grant's leadership and strategic planning helped turn the tide of the battle, and the Union forces emerged victorious. The Battle of Shiloh was a turning point in the war, and it solidified Grant's reputation as a successful military commander. One of Grant's most significant contributions to the Union's war effort was his unique approach to military strategy. Unlike other Union generals, who tended to fight cautiously and avoid risks, Grant was aggressive and unrelenting in his pursuit of victory. He believed in the importance of coordinated attacks and used his troops' superior numbers and firepower to overwhelm Confederate forces. One of Grant's most famous victories came during the Siege of Vicksburg in the spring and summer of 1863. The Confederate stronghold of Vicksburg, Mississippi, was a crucial transportation hub that controlled the Mississippi River. Grant led a months-long siege of the city, cutting off Confederate supply lines and preventing reinforcements from reaching the beleaguered Confederate troops. The siege was marked by intense fighting and brutal conditions, but Grant's leadership and determination eventually led to the surrender of the Confederate forces on July 4, 1863. The fall of Vicksburg was a significant turning point in the war, as it gave the Union complete control of the Mississippi River and effectively split the Confederacy in two. Grant's success in the Civil War was due in large part to his innovative tactics and unrelenting determination. He was a fearless leader who was willing to take risks and make bold moves to achieve victory. His contributions to the Union's war effort helped shape the course of American history and cemented his place as one of the most successful military leaders in U.S. history. Ulysses S. Grant was elected as the 18th President of the United States in 1868, following his successful military career during the Civil War. During his presidency, Grant worked to protect the rights of African Americans and enforce Reconstruction policies in the South. He signed into law the Civil Rights Act of 1871, which allowed for federal prosecution of those who violated the civil rights of African Americans. He also supported the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed voting rights for African American men. However, Grant's presidency was also marred by scandals, including the Credit Mobilier affair, in which high-ranking government officials were found to have accepted bribes from a fraudulent construction company. Despite not being directly involved in the scandal, Grant's association with some of the implicated officials damaged his reputation and weakened his administration. Grant's legacy as a military leader and president is complex. On the one hand, he is remembered as one of the most successful military commanders in American history, with his innovative tactics and unrelenting determination leading to key Union victories during the Civil War. On the other hand, his presidency is often criticized for its scandals and his perceived inability to fully address issues such as corruption and civil rights abuses. Despite these controversies, Grant's contributions to American history cannot be understated. His efforts to protect the rights of African Americans during Reconstruction set an important precedent for future civil rights legislation, and his leadership during the Civil War helped to preserve the Union and end slavery in the United States. One interesting fact about Grant is that he was a prolific writer, penning 2 memoirs of his experiences during the Civil War. His memoirs, which were published after his death, are considered some of the most important works of American historical literature. Another interesting fact is that Grant struggled with financial difficulties in his later years and was diagnosed with throat cancer. In an effort to provide for his family, he began writing his memoirs while he was terminally ill. He finished the work just days before his death, and the memoirs proved to be a commercial and critical success, earning his family significant royalties. In conclusion, this video has provided an overview of the life, military career, and presidency of Ulysses S. Grant. We have learned about his early years, his innovative tactics and strategies during the Civil War, and his efforts to protect the rights of African Americans during Reconstruction. We also discussed his presidency, which was marked by both significant achievements and scandals. Ulysses S. Grant is an important figure to study or discuss because of his immense contributions to American history. His military leadership during the Civil War was pivotal to the Union victory, and his efforts to promote civil rights during Reconstruction set an important precedent for future legislation. Despite the controversies that marked his presidency, his legacy remains significant. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.